This question is related to topic light and waves. Variety of colors are often seen when the white light is reflected from a thin layer of oil on a puddle of water. The light reflected from a top layer, as you can see, undergo a phase change of 180 degrees. Like, what is the meaning of phase change of 180 degrees? It means if crest strike the surface, the one which bounce back will be trough. So that is the meaning of 180. What is meant by the phase difference of 180 degrees? So what is the meaning of phase? So it means the waves will be anti-phase or out of phase, and the part difference will between them will be lambda by 2. So 180 out of phase means part difference will be lambda by 2, or we can say they will be anti-phase, opposite. And when these waves will combine, the anti-phase wave or 180 out of degree wave combined, they will produce a destructive interference. They will interfere, but the interference will be destructive. The diagram shows a thin layer of oil of thickness d, the surface of a water, and a ray of a white light incident on the layer of oil, and it is reflected from the top. You can see part is reflected from the top and part travel and bound. Calculate the velocity of a light in oil. The refractive index is given to you. So how we can work out the refractive index, how we can work out the speed. So we have the formula n1 sine theta 1 equals n2 sine theta 2, or refractive index and speed are inversely proportional to each other. So we can also say n1 v1 equal n2 v2. n1 is the refractive index of air. The refractive index of air is 1 because it is moving in from air to oil. So refractive index of air is 1. The speed of air in air, speed of light in air, that is v exponent 8. Refractive index of the medium 2 is given 1.5, and velocity we don't know in medium 2. 1.5 is multiplied, other side will be divided. So speed at which this light will move inside the oil, that is 2 exponent 8. When we are observing this light, when viewed from above the puddle, the oil is seen as yellow. We have to explain this observation. Like the light ray strike the surface, which bounce back from the surface, and part of it enter and then bounce back. And we are observing a yellow color. What is the reason why we are observing a yellow color here? So we have to find a part difference. What will the part difference? Because see, this distance is d. So what is the extra distance? Like if I say this is ray 1 and this one is ray 2. First ray 1 and 2 both enter the same, but ray 1 reflected, ray 2 refracted, and then reflected and come out. So the distance, extra distance traveled by ray 2 compared to ray 1, that is refers to a part difference. So what is the part difference here between the two? The part difference will be equal to 2d, because it go inside and then bounce back. So the part difference between them will be twice of d. And when we work out, when we compare the part difference 2d, because d is 1 exponent minus 7. So d is 1 into 10 power minus 7 and multiply by 2. So it will come out as 4 into 10, 2 into 10 power minus 7. So 2 exponent minus 7 is the part difference. And when we compare, because the wave will undergo the same phase change, so two waves, when they interfere with each other, so the wavelength of a yellow light in the oil, it is 4 into 10 power minus 7. So we work out the part difference. The part difference is equal to 2 exponent minus 7. So in terms of wavelength, what is this part difference? So that is lambda by 2. But what happened? The phase and the wave undergo a phase change. Like if crest is striking, if crest is strike the surface, then trough will come out. But the ray which is passing inside and go will not undergo a phase change. So the part difference is lambda by 2 in terms of wavelength, because lambda is 4 exponent minus 7. But here part difference is 2 exponent minus 7. So it is half of wavelength. Half of wavelength, whenever remember half of wavelength, it should be a destructive interference. But right now here it will not be a destructive interference. Why? Because the first wave, when it strike and bounce back, it undergo a phase change. Like crest was joining, striking a surface, trough will come out. And the second wave which enter and come out, that does not undergo a phase change. So when it will come out, because this distance is half of the wavelength, like total distance, which it covers is half of wavelength. So when it will come out, it will also come out as a trough. So when two waves now combine with each other, what they give rise to? They will give rise to a constructive interference. So the two waves undergo a phase change, and when they meet at the top of the oil, they will have a constructive interference.